You know, Ted, Uthengar had a truly awesome armor class.
Well, that's true, but where are you going with this?
You know, I think I can do even better.
Okay, lay it on me.
Not so fast, Ted. Let's do the unstoppable AC build for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds. I'm Nerdarchy Steve, and as usual, I'm joined by this nerd.
Nerdarchist Ted.
Want to keep those D&D videos flowing through your YouTube feed? Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
You can armor up yourself with Nerdarchy by hitting that notification bell.
So if you want to follow along with this video, you can download the character build guide from the DMs Guild. There will be the link in the description. As well as you can look at the D&D Beyond character sheet, which it only seems fair that we mention D&D Beyond as our sponsor. It's a great resource for all things digital Dungeons & Dragons when it comes to the official content. It's great for building encounters, making your characters, or just looking up D&D information from Wizards of the Coast.
D&D Beyond is a great resource. You know, you got the videos, the articles, but you can now even roll your dice right on your character sheet. There's loads of dice options. You know, if you're looking to even collect digital dice, they're really cool, they're awesome, and they can do things that real dice just can't do. So you definitely need to check out D&D Beyond. The link is going to be down in the description.
All right, so we've done these character builds before where, you know, we kind of just really delve into the theory craft, but we haven't done this as a character build guide. People have requested it, so we decided that we would go back and redo this. Maybe not exactly, but very similar. Also, originally, when we did this video, we used Warforged, and they were much different in that release. They have since changed, so that's also going to change the build a little bit.
Absolutely. So Warforged, you know, when we did the original video, you know, had 3 different sub races within it, and you know, we had to pick, you know, this specific one that was going to have a increased armor class, you know, based on that. Well, that doesn't work that way anymore. Now Warforged just get a flat +1 to their armor class, while there are numerous races that get a armor class formula, if you will. Only Warforged is going to get you that just flat +1 AC.
So we're still going with Warforged is basically the gist of it.
You know, and there's of course going to be, you know, we're going to give you all the details for getting the nifty magic items that you are going to need, but it's going to take more than just your +3 place mail, your +3 shield, your +3 defender, and your ring of protection and cloak of protection. That gets you a lot, but it's not going to get you everything that you're going to need. All right, so there's going to be a number of classes that are going to get you access to the armor and shield proficiencies that you need, as well as a number of subclasses and base classes that offer up ways to build out that armor class. But you know, we're only going to be looking at a couple to really build out something specific that we're looking for. As stated, we're going to need heavy armor and shields because, let's face it, you know, high plate armor and a high shield bonus are going to be major factors for this. So we definitely want fighter, and there's some pretty good magic effects that we're going to be able to use. So we're also looking at wizard.
Specifically, we're going to be looking at our Cavalier and War Wizard, or War Magic, I should say, which as we do the build, we'll get into why we went with each of those. So moving along, we also are going to pick a background for this character. Now, for our armor class, this does not actually matter at all. It's just a matter of thematically what we felt like the ultimate armor class character, what walk of life they're going to come from.
So, seeing as a Warforged, I saw 3 different options here. We know we're going with fighter, and we know we're going with wizard. So to me, that automatically puts soldier and sage on the list. But the fact that the Warforged gets an automatic tool proficiency, I thought guild artisan should have been something to be considered. Since we know that we want to optimize our armor proficiencies and stat adjustments, i.e. feats, we know we want to start off being able to get access to heavy armor at first level. So we're going to take fighter first. So when we're doing this, I thought the good transition to be able to go from fighter to wizard was to have a sage background.
All right, for stats, we went with point buy over the standard array. Strength, dex, and con, we went with 15, 10, and 14.
And then we did for intelligence, wisdom, charisma, it's a 14, 10, 8.
And of course, strength and con will end up being 16s because that's where our bonuses end up being from our racial adjustments.
The Warforged does have that floating +1, and since we're looking to have this character a little bit more martial, we do want to make sure that we can get that high strength to be able to wear that plate mail eventually. If we start off, strong, we're starting off with fighter, we should definitely angle towards that. And spoiler alert, the spell selection that we're looking at for this particular character is not designed to be a major blaster, even though we do have a significant number of wizard level.
So, for all the reasons Ted had said, we're going to be going with fighter for our first level. But also, we want that fighting style, which we want it to be defensive, which is going to give us a +1 to armor class as long as we're wearing armor.
Super helpful, and it's going to be beneficial for this character throughout the entire campaign, unless, somehow the DM takes your armor away, but that's mean.
And we're playing a Warforged, and it's really hard to get the armor off of a Warforged.
That is true. Second level, we're going to take Wizard, and the obvious reason is we want the shield spell. So this is going to be like a primarily defensive character, so your spell selection, should be denoted as such. You're going to take spells that are, designed to bolster you and your allies, but you want to be using your spell slots for shield when they're within that, that mist spectrum, and it's going to work until the start of your next turn. So super helpful in the long run, over and over and over again.
Now we're going to take our second level in fighter, giving us action surge. I mean, we all know action surge is just great.
Yeah. Then we're going to move to our second level of wizard. This is going to give us our subclass. We're going to choose war mage, and this is going to give us tactical wit. This is going to allow us to add our intelligence modifier to our initiative rolls. We kind of throw away dex, so it's kind of important to get some kind of bonus to those.
Not only that, you're going to also get access to arcane deflection. So if you get hit by an attack or fail a saving throw, you can use your reaction to get a +2 to armor class or a +4 to your saves. The only caveat is you can only use cantrips till the end of your next turn, but that's going to be okay for this character.
Indeed.
So now we're going to jump back to fighter. We're going to take 2 levels. We are going to now choose Cavalier, and the important thing is we're going to get that unwavering mark. What that does is that allows you to kind of mark enemies, so if they attack anybody but you, they're going to have a disadvantage on their rolls. But not only that, you can then make a reaction to attack them if they attack somebody else. So it makes you extra tanky and sticky and makes you kind of the center of attention.
It makes them want to attack you, which if you've got this super high armor class that is hard to hit, even regular, it makes them want to attack you. But if they choose to attack your allies, they're going to roll with disadvantage, which is going to help out your allies and really fulfill that tank role that this is designed to do.
We're also going to get a stat adjustment, and we're going to take that to con to bring us up to an 18.
And the reason for that is because you can mark based on your Constitution modifier. So we want to bump that up as much as possible. So from here, we're going to take 3 levels of Wizard. What that's going to do is going to get us access to second and third level spells and a stat adjustment, which we're going to put that in the Constitution to be able to bump that up, not only for our unwavering mark, but for our concentration checks, because we now are going to gain access to haste, which is the important thing for us because it's going to increase our armor class by 2 whenever we have that spell on. So definitely the go-to spell for this character.
We're going to go fighter for 2 more levels, get our extra attack finally, and also we're going to get another stat adjustment, which we're going to take to our strength.
So this character is not going to be dealing out as much damage if we look how far down the road we are before we got that extra attack. But this character's main design is to, thwart the enemy by having just this armor class that just is not getting hit. Super helpful. But, now we're getting to the point where we're actually going to be able to dish out some decent damage. All right, so from here, we're going to take a whopping 5 levels of Wizard. This is going to give us another stat adjustment, which we're going to put into Strength, maxing that out. But the most important thing is getting access to Durable Magic. Durable Magic is a great ability that anytime you are concentrating on a spell, it's going to give you another +2 bonus to your armor class. So this, coupled with haste, means that one spell is going to get you a bonus 4 to your AC, something that no other wizard has got the capability of doing. this is amazing, this is awesome, and this is really what we wanted to do. So that's why we were bum rushing, trying to get as many wizard levels as possible to get to this feature.
So 3 more levels of fighter. We're going to get warding maneuver, and we're also going to get a stat adjustment to intelligence. Warding maneuver is really nice because as a reaction, if someone attacks someone within your reach, including yourself, you can spend your reaction to roll a d8 and add that to the armor class. Of course, we generally want to add it to our armor class, but hey, we can have a great armor class. Our buddies can have a great armor class. If you haven't used your reaction by now, you have another opportunity to use it, another chance of stopping attack. Hey, maybe you're hoping to roll higher than you would with that shield.
Or maybe you're just out of spell slots. Who knows? This is going to take us to our last level, level 20. We're going to take Wizard. We kind of went back and forth between whether we went to go a 10-10 split or a 9-11, and it was either hold the line from Cavalier or access to 6-level spells and a super powerful Tensor's Transformation. So we felt that was almost a no-brainer. So we went with 11th level of Wizard, giving us access to Tensor's Transformation. It's not quite as good for our armor class as Haste, but that 50 temporary hit points is, super tanky, in this situation for those clutch moments.
And you also do that extra force damage, also very nice. Now, there were some other ways we had thought about going when we were talking about doing this video. I didn't even look at the Blade Singer. The biggest downside to Blade Singer is you have to be doing your Blade Song to be awesome with your armor class. And, you're just not always going to have access to that. So I felt like this might be a better way to go. You can always be wearing your armor and have your shield. And that shield is a big deal because that's another +3 just from the enchantment.
So all told, we're looking at a AC 33 walking around normal. 35 if you're concentrating on a spell. 37 if that spell happens to be haste. And then you've got the capability of putting either the shield spell or, a D8 on top of that with those, spell slots or class features. So you're going to have the capabilities of getting into the 40s for your AC. That is near unhittable, even for those upper level bosses, if you're doing everything correctly.
And if you can find a buddy to put Shield of Faith on you, that's going to increase it by another 2. And if you know anybody that happens to be a Valor Bard, they could give you an inspiration die to add to your armor class as well. So at that point, it's feasible that you could even get 50 or beyond.
So it is legit crazy, the aspects that you're going to get to do. Now, I know some people, might get frustrated at, well, I can't get a +3 plate mail, and I can't get, a +3 shield, and all of these other things. But, the core mechanics are there to, build upon that are still going to get you, to incredibly high armor classes. And we're only talking about, these small marginal numbers. There's no reason why, high-level characters should not have access to +1 or +2 plate mail, +1 or +2 shields. These should be, fairly common to epic level characters. So we are talking about small margins, on this, but this is a way to do it, and we think it's pretty awesome.
If you enjoyed this character build guide video, take a look at the card up here where you can find the video that inspired it, the Impenetrable Armor Class video.
Hey, if you're looking to get access to new material, did you know that we're creating products for 5th edition D&D for players and DMs alike over on Patreon?
That's not all. We do weekly patron-only hangouts, monthly giveaways our patrons are automatically entered in, and more.
So until next time, stay nerdy.